Uh,
She she feels the same way. It's so weird. I'm like, you have no idea how much you have my mind racing right now. My eyes are like wide. My eyes are like open.
I kind of feel bad then. I don't know.
Why?
Because
I don't. I freaking love it. Are you kidding me? Why do you feel bad? I am like, you don't even know. You're like feeding me what I need to hear. It's about time I fucking got some real fucking information instead of this bullshit that I keep searching for that I can't find. I told him, I'm like, everything he keeps telling me is just resonating so well, like, within me. Like, more than you could even imagine.
Alright.
Like, honestly, Dan, like, I get you more than I think you even know. As crazy as it sounds.
Actually,
I just smoked a fucking bowl, and I don't have no freaking smoke. You don't even know.
Wait, so what was your mom saying?
Nothing. She's like, so what is it? She's like, it's not about the chakras. It's all about your mind, isn't it? Is it? Is it just your mind?
Well, that's the trick.
Like, she's like, if it's not about anything, he said, you gotta take the Bible, and it's garbage. I said, but I mean, the Bible is really...
That's a little harsh, but
It's not garbage, but I said a lot of the teachings and the way they go about it is... Yeah, I know, it's not like garbage.
Yeah, I know, I don't want to...
I feel like the Bible is their playbook. That's what I feel like it is. It's just a playbook. You have to learn the book. If you don't learn the book, you're not going to beat the game. You know what I mean? That's like what I feel the Bible is. I believe it was just their fucking handbook that they dished out to fucking everybody. Like, here's the playbook.
Like, one of the things that really fulfills me, if that's a good word, is collecting Bibles. I love...
I do the same thing.
But... but I mean, like, of all the different religions.
Oh, yeah, it's like the Quran and stuff like that. Like,
I mean, like, all, like...
Man, I love that shit. You don't even know.
So let's see here. So, the Church of the Subgenius, their Bible really helped me out in... actually, so let's see here. Around like 2009 and 2010 was when I just immersed myself. Oh, and actually 2012, remember 2020, December 21st, 2012?
Oh, yeah, that huge scare and all that bullshit.
So that really, I was talking about that in like in 2007. I'm like, in 5 years, everyone's going to be going nuts about this date that everyone, because all my research pointed to that date.
I remember that.
And then actually, this dude named Terence McKenna, he has this theory called the time wave theory.
Yeah, I know about Terence McKenna.
and he has this theory called the time wave theory, and he extrapolated like all of history's data onto this into this algorithm pattern onto the computer, and he like all of the most historic dates in the history of man. He like somehow calculated the novelty inside of these like the
how they predict all this stuff, or how they do it, like the formula.
Well, like all these things were happening at specific dates, like people coming up with certain theories, and then like revolutions going on, like worldwide, like the Inquisition, and then like the time of Christ. So like there'll be it's like a line. It's like and it's going up and down through patterns of habit and novelty. So habit is what like this whole world falls into the trance of, is just falling into this collective habit. It's collective zombieism and collective robot, parrot, gibberish, brainwash nonsense, pseudoscience, gibberish, intellectualism, pseudo everything, just pseudo fake simulation theory, atheism, all this crap is
I wondered about the simulation too, and that's funny that you say that because I was reading about it, but something again, it didn't resonate within me like you resonate within me.
Thank you. That's a nice compliment.
No, like you really do though. You don't understand. Like I admire you, Dan. Like I really do. Like I want to know what you know, but I don't think I need to know.
No, you don't.
And that's where I'm at. I'm having it. It's kind of like it's almost been very emotional at times, you know.
Oh no, I get that way a lot. Actually, that's something I've been working on consciously, is getting a hold of my emotions. Because it's nothing wrong with like I don't want to restrict my emotions because that's another trap. You're supposed to.
Exactly.
So, but I also don't want to be. No, I mean, like I've talked with multiple people, and in the midst of my talking with them, I'll get so caught up in the moment talking with them and how beautiful it all is that literal tears of sadness. Right
now, believe it or not, like I'm getting like little tiny tears in my eyes because it's like you don't understand.
Well, no, I do.
I'm actually being fed real shit, and when I know that I'm being fed real shit, like I know.
It's actually, that reminds me of I remember being with my buddy's dog, Aldo, who I was just with for a long time, for like almost 2 years, and I was outside with him, and I'm like, I felt sadness in him, and it was strange, and he was just sitting down and like he was staring at me in the sun. He was sitting down and like staring at me, and I'm like, I'm like, what's going on, dude? And I'm like, why is he staring at me like that? And then I got down to his eye level, and he was just looking right into my eyes, and I'm like, and I'm like, he's like trying to get me to meditate. I'm like, this is like
you can you feel like you almost can like talk to them, but not.
Well, no, it was total telepathy. He was.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the dog was. Eckhart Tolle says. He says, I've lived with many Zen masters. Most of them were cats. And so, like, dogs and cats and dolphins and birds and all different snakes and all different types of animals.
I've done this since I was a kid, just so you know.
Yeah, they're all in a natural state of harmony with themselves and nature, because that's what they don't have to.
Yeah.
So, like, people will disagree with me when I say that we're not any different than the mosquitoes, and people.
Are you kidding me? We're all the same.
But people will disagree with me, and they say, "Well,
we're fucking nuts." I get it.
Well, yeah, they say that since we have more words than the dogs and gorillas and also, so that's.
I feel like they're almost more intellectual than we are. We're so fucking human.
Well, they don't have to be. They don't have to. Like that word, like words. They sing their words. They're in harmony. Like literally, birds sing. Like, you know, we call it. So like, listen to the birds singing and chirping. So like.
That's what I do every day when I was growing up. My windows. It was my favorite thing. I would just listen to them sing. It was never chirping. It was them singing to me. Like, you don't even know. I just bought a bird and I just sit there and I listen to her all the time. I like talk to her. Everyone's like, you talk to the animals. Like, Mom, you think I'm nuts? I'm like, I feel like Dr. Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle. So,
Well, that's what it reminds me. I'm like that, Dan. Like, you don't even know. I used to have a phobia against, like, bugs. I used to hate them. Like, ew, get away from me. Now, I talk to them, and I release the fear, and they go if they need to go, if it's something that I don't want around me, or, you know, I'm just so in tune. very in tuned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so wait, so what were we talking about before we got sidetracked with the...
I do this all the time. I do it all the time. You're talking about nature, animals.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So humans think that since they create words like intellect and intelligence and energy and consciousness, and they create branches of science and philosophy, branches of science and branches of philosophy. So that means that, and we create shelters with different types of materials. So we're obviously.
You eat meat, then? You don't eat meat, do you?
Oh no, I eat meat.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you still think like? Cause I don't eat meat really anymore.
Oh well yeah. I mean that's.
Is that normal? I don't know. I just feel bad. I feel like the freaking shit talks to me, dude. Like literally, like talks to me. Like the one time I went to go eat freaking turkey, and I swear the fucking thing was screaming at me.
Oh God. Yeah.
Am I fucking crazy? Am I crazy?
No. I when I was driving across the country, I saw like the trucks full of pigs and cows and horses and shit. I literally wept and was crying like hysterically.
So you get that too then? Okay, because sometimes I feel crazy. Like Craig thinks I'm nuts. I'm like, I can't explain it.
No. I'll step on a worm or a bee and I'll instantly break into tears.
You can feel it, yes. Oh my gosh, I know. Oh my gosh, I do it too. Or like the ants. Like Craig, you know what he did last summer? There was an ant hill and he took gasoline and he went to
Oh my God.
like, what are you doing? Well, we can't have fire ants in the air. He doesn't do it anymore because I like, no, I'm like, you can't do that. Like I was so mad.
Well, fire ants. I don't know. You don't really want fire. No, I'm just.
I know, but I'm like, couldn't you just dig the hole up and throw it in the neighbor's yard or something? Like, there's got to be a better way.
Throw it in the neighbor's yard.
Well, that's his foreclosed home.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, I know. She just let it go in foreclosure, so I mean, there was no one living there.
Yes.
I'm weird like that. It's like, I don't know, I sometimes think I'm freaking losing my mind.
No. No, that's just being very kind and compassionate and empathetic towards other creatures and species. No, yeah, I've been totally obsessed with nature since I've been a little kid. Yeah, I mean, I found I found this astronomy book and it was copyrighted in 1987, and I looked and I'm like Mom, this was the very first book that I ever read, wasn't it? And she's like, yeah. So I was 3 years old, and the very first book I picked up was a astronomy book, and because astrology has to do with more or less like, actually I guess it would be both, but astrology is more
it's kind of the same, but it's different.
No, astronomy is like the study of the whole thing, like the universe. You know,
the universe.
Like
the astrology is more the stars, right?
It's more like the horoscope and the
I'm just starting to learn a little bit about that, but I don't know. Is that fake too?
There's definitely a lot of hot.
No.
It's just. I mean, if you want to, a short answer would be yes. It's definitely. Well, here's the thing. I mean, no, I can't say that. It's both.
I know, it's like a little bit of both. I get it.
No,
I get you. I feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely because like it's fun, you know. It's in it. Some of it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've had.
I always tell myself you have to remember, like, these interpretations at times they're man-made. You know what I mean? So you kind of got to come up with your own.
Yep.
And that's what I always try to tell myself when I try to study stuff, you know, certain things.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was like, so, and then as I was saying that to my mom, she's like, I'm like, it says copyright 1987. I'm like, was I reading this when I was 2, Mom? She's like, no. She's like, you started talking around then, and I'm like, but I went to preschool when I was 4 years old, and And I remember preschool. I remember the very first day, and
Right.
so I'm like, she's like, yeah, you were into fossils and the stars when you were 2 and 3 years old. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, and it kept growing, and it kept growing, and
That's how I would be. I feel like me and you relate, like, more than you even know. The things you tell me is just like, it's like I'm seeing my life, like, it's weird. I was the same way.
well, that's what you got to do. So we were talking earlier, and you said like, what can we do? So what I am doing is going back to my childhood.
Your past. Yes, that's what I've been doing. Like, certain things have been surfacing that I forgot. Like, and then it comes back to me, and it just clicks, and I'm like, that's why I did that, and that's why I did that, and in the meantime, I said to my mom, I go, Mom, I was a freaking genius when I was a kid. And she goes, Bonnie, you know your grandmother always said that about you, that there was something special about you, that you were super, super smart. And I said, well, what the freak happened to me?
They give you those pills that make girls not get pregnant. That's total neurological damage.
Oh, but I never took birth control. My body rejected it as soon as I took it.
Yeah, that shit's like that's an abortion.
I've been anti-meds my whole life. My body rejects it
Oh.
all. My body
Oh, that's good.
Not allowing.
Yeah, me too.
I've been anti-meds my whole life.
Yeah, me
My
too.
body rejects everything. Like, it's weird. Like I said, I don't understand it. Like, and it doesn't like reject it in a bad way, but it's like, I know, like, okay, this is like, I don't know. It's just I've never been into like that stuff. Like, I was for a short period when I was in the doctor's office, but it still didn't resonate within me. Certain things, you know what I mean? Like, but birth control was always a no-go. I tried 6 different ones. Because none of them, every time I took them, nope, this is not right. Nope, this is not right. I took antidepressants. Like, I mean, I took this stuff, but in the meantime of doing it, I was becoming aware. Like, my antidepressants, they tried putting me on 2 pills. I started seizuring from it. And I was like, motherfucker, this shit ain't no good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
my body just reacts to things in a certain way. And like I said, I believe it was my protection. I believe it was my way of saying, you don't need this, stay away from it. Like, you don't need this, stay away from it, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm a different breed.
Well, it's probably because you are. Yeah.
I definitely think that I am. I really do. I mean, Craig says it all the time. I was like, you're never going to find anybody like me. And he's like, you are freaking right. I never will. Because I mean, the holistic thing, I've been holistic for years. Probably since I was like 18, 19 years old is when I really started dabbling into like the whole holistic thing, you know? My kids haven't been on antibiotics in, 8 years at least, except once. My son had gotten staph, and I didn't know how to handle it, but my daughter wound up getting it, and I learned how to cure that naturally. I mean, the things that I've done naturally of curing diseases is, you'd be mind-blown. You think I was a freaking doctor.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a Chinese saying that every man and woman is a doctor.
Oh, definitely. I believe it. But the thing is, people don't want to know how to do it. They don't follow their gut. They follow with what man says, and they don't want to just say, well, wait a second, let's try. Like, this last summer when Destiny did have the staph infection, we went camping, and there was a couple in I was so pissed at the one girl. She's like, you need to get her to a doctor. And she goes, that's bad. And I said, no, it's not. It's actually healing. And she was like disgusted in me. Do you know, 2 days later, because she thought it was so bad, it was because it was like drying up. 2 days later, the whole layer of skin just peeled off, and it was all fresh skin underneath. Like, I knew, and I even said to Craig, I'm like, do you think I'm a bad mom because I don't take them, and I know that it's working? And he's like, babe, no. He's like, because I always fix them. Always.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just know that it's working. I'm like, I'm not freaking crazy. And no lie, it was Sunday when she had said that to me, and Tuesday, like I said, the freaking infection just peeled right. Like with all these diseases going around, I don't worry like all these other people do. Like I feel like I can cure it.
I don't worry either.
I feel like there's a cure, and I feel like that I will know that cure. I will figure it out.
Yeah, I heard everyone talking about that shit. I'm like, it ain't gonna hit me.
Well, like even like this whole freaking flu thing that everyone's talking.
Well, yeah,
I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
I predicted that in August. I said this year is going to be the first or the worst case that they say of the flu. Like I predicted it. No one believes me. Like I said, I predict these things and people think I'm not. Well, what freaking is going on? A flu epidemic. Go figure. You know. What's your theories on why the flu is being spread? And do you think it's being I don't know.
I think it's
dramatic.
Yeah. It's more just
it's like dramatized.
Yeah. It's just fear propaganda.
Okay, my question to you is because do you remember NASA? They sent those balloons up.
Yeah, NASA sends balloons up all the time. But yeah, what do you mean?
No, with the bacteria in it, all that bacteria they were releasing that kills the bees. It was in August. That's when I predicted the flu because when they did that, I said they're doing that to whatever. So when I started looking up this bacteria and started digging really deep, I was coming into, again, staph, and it was like a fungal. Like to me, that's what I was getting from it, if you kind of like connected the dots. And I really feel like that could be why as well. Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, I mean, obviously you can weaponize diseases.
I mean, I really think that's when I came up with the flu thing. I said, I feel like this is the part of, I feel like that's why there's going to be a flu. But I had to ask you on that, like if you thought, geoengineering and all that.
Well, but they would never do that, though. That's international treason and against the law. No one in the world is allowed to do that. So,
do what?
To create chemical weapons, except for America.
Yeah, right.
I'm not kidding around though, but that's you're not allowed to use them on people.
What don't you think they still do?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because I don't care what they freaking say. They still do, don't they? I mean, in my mind, they do.
I mean, it's not a war. You can't have war on a globe. And I mean that literally. Like all of the high-ranking military generals and lieutenants, they know that the world is flat because all of their radars work.
They use the flat Earth map.
Well, you can't. It's a terrain. It has nothing to do with it.
Whatever it is that they use, that freaking thing you're talking about on the computers and their planes.
Yeah, that's all mapped out on a flat plane. They don't.
It's all flat. Yeah, it's all flat. Like, so how can these people even like? That blows my mind too. That's another thing. Like, you're fucking dumb. You're fucking flying a plane and you can't figure out the Earth's fucking flat. Like,
well, all of the devices on the plane, like the artificial horizon and the gyroscopes, and they all. It has to be level. Like it's all in the artificial horizon is completely flat too.
Yes, exactly. See, I definitely looked into that, and I'm just like, and it blows my mind because my cousin Chris, he's in the Navy and he does the planes, and I'm like, how does he not see through this? Like, how do these people? How are they still freaking lost? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to blame it on, seriously, but it just blows my mind.
It's just dark magic. Yeah, it's just a mass hypnosis by a bunch of evil magicians that don't even know that they're evil magicians. So like they don't even.
But you don't think they even know?
They have no. I mean, some of them do, but.
I was going to say because I know, but a lot of them they don't know because the top of the top know, right?
I mean, honestly, they really don't.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny you say this because I've been questioning that too. I'm like, do they know?
Yeah,
or do they just think they know? Or do they not new, and they're just the Walking Dead too, but they do it out of power and control.
Well, they do it because it's tradition, and that's what's been handed down to them by their families, the royal families.
Okay, let me get to one point. Where do you think we came from?
Came from?
Like how did we wind up here in this place?
It's a good question. How did we? Where did we come from? Where do we come from?
Like, that's what I always wondered. That's like, how will we ever know?
It's 50-50. I mean, let's see here. Well, I don't I don't believe in creationism. I don't believe in evolutionism.
You don't believe that we evolve, though? I mean, I don't believe in, like, Darwin's theory, but we evolve, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been...
But is that fake, too? Because I'm sorry, like, what about your thoughts on DNA? Like, is that fake? Is that all hoax?
So, yeah, it's interesting, because, like you said... Like,
this has been coming to me, so that's why, these are things that I've been questioning.
So, like I said, I've been thinking about and studying fossils since my first words were uttered, and collecting them along the way, and then teaching about them throughout my 20s to children my age. Well, back when I was, it's just really interesting. So I brought in my fossils. To the kids that I was teaching at the Buffalo Folk School, the 1 week prior, I said, if they behave this week, if you guys behave and you all get your 5 stars and you don't have any breakouts this week, then I'll give you I'll bring in some fossils next week, and I'll do some presentations, and I'll teach you all about fossils in the past. And so all the kids behaved super well that week, and because they wanted to see the fossils and shit and learn about it. So I brought in the fossils.